What's up guys, I'm Caden with Crypto Now or Never and welcome back to another Cocoro update. If you enjoy this style of content, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. As always, none of this is financial advice. Let's get into it.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want.
Okay, so as you guys can see, Cocoro is currently trading at an $11.9 million market cap. And over the last week or two, Cocoro's just kind of been bleeding, and you can see that we're basically forming this bull flag or a cup and handle pattern. And I know a lot of people are getting a little bit worried because Cocoro's dropping, but I would like to point out that this cup and handle pattern can be seen on so many different projects in the market right now. For example, if we come over and we look at a project like Pepe, you can see that Pepe is in a very similar cup and handle. If we come over and we take a look at a project like Shiba Inu, it's in a very similar pattern yet again. So don't just look at Cocoro and think that it's the only project that's bleeding right now. It is definitely not the only project. In fact, relative to a lot of other low caps, it's actually holding up very well. A lot of other projects out there have actually lost this previous support level. Now, if we take a look at Cocoro and CoinMarketCap, the volume is still very good, 2.38 million. The volume to market cap ratio is 20.4%. A lot of projects out there are 10% or less. So this shows that there's definitely interest in this project. And what's nice to see is if you look at the Cocoro markets, you can see that they have officially added MEXC. And MEXC should definitely be a good listing for Cocoro in the future. But I also just want to show you guys Memecoin's ranked in general right now, just to show you guys even further that everything is bleeding. For example, if you look at Dogecoin in the last week, it's down 16%, SHIB's down 13%, Pepe's down 17%, Pango's down 20%, Bonk 26%. You can just continue going down and pretty much everything is down over the last week. And a lot of these projects have been bleeding for close to 2 weeks. So again, I cannot stress enough, the chart for Cocoro right now is very natural. It's following the rest of the market. Now, what's interesting about the market though right now and everything bleeding is that Bitcoin dominance is starting to rise again. You can see that Bitcoin dominance is back to 61.3%. However, if you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, this is where it's even more interesting. You could argue that Bitcoin dominance is forming a bear flag right now, and bear flags are usually very bearish patterns. In fact, one of my favorite things to do on this chart is invert it. If you invert it, it looks like we're forming a cup and handle and we're about to retest the 21-day and potentially the 200-day. This is the kind of pattern that I would absolutely love to trade to the upside. So if you just make it normal, you can understand that this could be very bullish for altcoins. If we see this break to the downside, then altcoins could rally. And right now you can see that the stochastics are getting very overbought as well. So we're definitely hoping that Bitcoin dominance gets rejected off of support. Now, what I do want to point out about Ethereum though real quick is that it did lose the 21-day moving average on the daily. I've been telling you guys that it would be awesome if we saw Ethereum get a bounce off of this level. However, you can see that we did close a candle beneath it. Oftentimes, once you lose a support level, you drop down to the next support level. Now, do understand, one of the worst case scenarios would be that we come down and we retest this previous high right here. And this previous high is about 2,880. I know a lot of people wouldn't want to see that, but that is a possibility. Prepare yourselves. But it's also possible that we just range kind of in this area. You can see that we've had major support and resistance here in the past. So don't be shocked if this 34 to 3,500 range does actually hold. And we just see Ethereum start to flag out right here. If you look at the stochastics and RSI, they have actually had a good chance to reset at this point. So it would make sense for Ethereum to get a bounce. Now, if we come over and we take a look at Bitcoin, this is also an interesting chart. So if you guys have been watching my content, you know I've been talking about how this bull flag could either explode or we're going to break down from the bull flag and there's a decent chance that we could come back down and retest this previous high. And we actually got very close to retesting this level. This candle actually came down to 112,680 and this previous high was just 112,000. But we do oftentimes see levels get front ran. So there is a chance that this actually could be the bottom. Now, is that guaranteed? No, it's not. And it's also currently a Saturday and weekends are low volume. There's absolutely a chance that we do come down to this level. But that's about it for the TA update. I do also want to take a look at Cocoro's X account. So you can see that Cocoro currently has 3,730 followers. And they've still been posting on here every single day, which is awesome. And I also recommend listening to this X Spaces. This is the one that they did yesterday and they had a lot of very good ideas in there. And I also would like to just say something to the Cocoro community. So it's no secret at this point that there is a Cocoro influencer who has now started covering the other project. And I just want to point out that as a community, you cannot go and leave negative comments under their posts. That is never going to be the best option, especially when that person is an HTX ambassador. Truthfully, it's a terrible look seeing a bunch of Cocoro profile pictures leaving negative comments. The reality of the crypto space is that you do not have to look very far to find negative energy. What has always set Cocoro apart is the strength of the community, the strong vibes, the positivity. That's one of the best things about Cocoro. Stooping to the level of other projects is never going to be the best look. Just think about that stuff before you leave negative comments. I just feel the need to say that because there's a lot of bad stuff that's been getting said. But that is also just a minority. Most of the Cocoro community has been great. And if this is your guys' first time seeing a Cocoro video, then I definitely recommend joining their Telegram as well. The Telegram is hyper active which is awesome to see. But if you guys are interested in Cocoro and you guys are interested in projects like Cocoro, then I always recommend taking a look at my Discord as well. We've been making huge gains in here this entire bull run. If you look at the all-time gainer list, some of these projects you could have turned $1,000 into over $200,000. So if this is the kind of community that you'd like to be a part of, you can find the link right here on my YouTube homepage. It'd be awesome to see you guys in here with us. But that's about all. Let me know down in the comments how you guys are feeling about Cocoro. If you found this content valuable, please do me a favor and hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day.